What people don't realize about starting a business. There's so many things I could say, but we're going to keep it short. I think the biggest thing is when to know when to pivot, when to know when to change something up, when to know that if you don't figure this out and quickly, your business will start to lose money. Um, Being able to, yeah, we're going to start with that one. Yeah. Things are always changing. Things are always changing. And for me, if you guys did not know, I started my online business during COVID. So I started with OnlyFans. And so as we know, during COVID, like everybody had money. Like money was going crazy, right? People were taking trips. People were going out to eat. Like the country had money, right? People were just spending, going over asking price for the houses. Like I sold my house during that time. Like the economy was crazy, right? And so I came into entrepreneurship during that time when people were just spending, spending, spending. And so I'm making crazy amounts of money right off back. And I'm like, yo, this is what entrepreneurship is like. Like, this is crazy. I should have did this 10 years ago. Like, what? You know, just making crazy amounts of money. And then all of that stopped. And then people started getting tight with their money. And then stimulus got cut off, right? Everything went crazy. Prices started going up. People stopped spending as much money. And that money I was making when OnlyFans was popping, when you didn't have to do too much, that started to slow down. And there were actually a lot of OnlyFans women who ended up going back to work. And there's no shade in that, but I'm just showing you guys like how the economy shifted and how it shifted for everybody. But even though things were going on in the economy like that, my money wasn't as like what it was during COVID, I was still able to pivot. I was still able to figure out, okay, let me learn what marketing is. Like, let me know what it really means to build a brand. Let me know how all this content stuff really works, right? And so then I got on YouTube, then I got on TikTok, then I got on Threads. Like I started building a brand in other places other than OnlyFans. I started building my Instagram, right? I think during that time, I think my Instagram only had like 5,000 followers, maybe 10. Like it wasn't large. Now, you know, over 100,000. So I had to learn all these things. And you got to learn when it's time to learn something. Like if you want to stay in business, like if you want to keep going, you gotta be learning quickly. I took a year off from OnlyFans last year, but because I built my brand up, I was able to do that. A lot of people don't have the freedom to take off from work. And I basically learned AI all 2025. 2025, I spent the least amount of time on OnlyFans. And that's when I built I Am Coach Jazz brand. And that's when I built Glow Up Academy. And that's when I really learned about AI and all this stuff. I didn't know about any of that before. I wasn't using AI when I first started. Now people have that. Like that's the crazy thing. People have that now. But you got to learn when it's time to learn and pivot, because if you don't, like, you will sink. Like, I think all entrepreneurs can agree with that. If you don't pivot quickly, you will sink. And some people, they just sink. Like, things are always changing. Things are always changing. What used to work may not work anymore. Back then, I never had to go live on OnlyFans during COVID. People were just spending money. Then I had to start going live more often. It was just, you have to learn when to pivot because nothing stays the same, like at all. The next thing I would say people don't realize about business is you don't just have one mood for the entire day. Like, I probably experienced 15 different moods in one day, right? I will go from excited to sad to I can't do this anymore to this ain't it to I love being an entrepreneur. I'm so blessed to fuck this, fuck that. Like, all within 6 hours. Like, the amount of mental gymnastics you go through as an entrepreneur is out of this world. Like, one minute you're crying and you're ready to just give it all up, and then the next minute you're like, hell yeah, I knew I could do that shit. Like, you are all over the place. You are all over the place. Your mood is crazy. Like, it's crazy. You could literally be crying while responding to students at the same time. Like, you're all over the place. It is a roller coaster. Like, there's hills, there's valleys, there are mountains, all within one road trip. Like, it's crazy. I don't think people know that. I think people think that entrepreneurship is just all, let's take trips. let's go let's go buy bags. Like, it is not, like, at all. Like, at all. It's stress, but it's not stress at the same time. You have to become very grounded, and I think we've said this in another video. Like, if you want to be entrepreneurship and weight loss are self-development journeys. You truly have to be your highest self if you want to run a successful business. And success doesn't have to equal a specific dollar amount. The success is whatever you deem as successful. Like, there's no right or wrong answer. Maybe success for you is being able to make enough money to quit your job, and you're cool with $5,000 a month or $4,000 a month, right? Maybe your husband taking care of everything else. You gonna do the toiletries and the groceries, like whatever. Maybe your level of success is being able to take one international trip a year, and as long as you can do that one international trip, you good, right? Like, whatever success means for you. But it's not all smooth sailing. Okay, it's not all smooth sailing. You are all over the place, for real. And you have to become grounded to handle it, because you're gonna turn crazy as hell. So definitely that. Something else that I don't think people learn about business is, and I didn't know this too, I learned quick, you have to go off of your lowest months when you're running a business. When you ready to move, if you're ready to upgrade cars, if you're ready to just upgrade your lifestyle, whatever it is you want to do, I'm going to urge and encourage you, girl, go off of your lowest month, and then even go ahead and divide that by 2, because your monthly income is all over the place. You will have some months where you're making this, and then some months where you're like ready to just say, fuck all of this. Like, why am I here? Your months are all over the place. But if you open up bills, rent, car notes, credit cards, whatever, and you're going off of your highest month, girl, no. Don't do that. Because it is so hard to run a business when you are stressed financially, because then you make decisions out of desperation, and that's never good. That is never good. Ask any entrepreneur. Making decisions off of desperation is probably the worst thing you could do for your business. You have got to be grounded. You really do. That's what I think. I've seen multiple people say, like, entrepreneurship is truly you becoming your highest self and being able to regulate your emotions. Because if you have all these bills, like let's say your highest month is $10,000, right? So, and maybe you hit multiple $10,000 a months throughout the year, right? And so maybe you get rent that's, I wouldn't even do 50%, but maybe you get rent that's $3,000. Okay, cool. And then you got a car payment that's $1,100. Then you got your car insurance. Girl, like, by the time you pay your bills, you're over half of your expenses. And then if you have another month, or let's say you have a month where you only do $3,000, well, now something's already going to not get paid because you don't save no money. Now you making decisions because you're desperate, and those aren't even going to be the most rational decisions. So you have got to go off of your lowest month and be really smart with your money, because if you do have tight months in entrepreneurship, you're going to be making stupid decisions, like just stupid, because you're stressed, and that's not fun. And then you can't even, if you're a content creator, you can't even create content for real when you're stressed. Or at least I can't. I struggle with making content when I'm stressed. I don't know what to talk about no more. I'm just like, I can't, because I'm so worried about XYZ. Like, I can't even show up and run my business. I am the face of the business, so I have to stay level-headed. And there's things that I do to make sure I keep myself level-headed, like going on my walks, exercising, making sure I eat healthy. Those things always tend to regulate me. So you have to figure out what's going to regulate you, and you got to make sure you always do that every single day, even when things aren't chaotic, so that you can just really learn how to be mentally calm. Because you will have months where you make 10,000, you will have months where you make 1,000, and if you don't know how to handle that, and if you got all these bills, it ain't gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. So don't do that to yourself. Something else I learned running a business, especially a social media business. Stop looking at those damn analytics. Stop obsessing over those analytics. Stop creating content that you don't really want to create, but you're creating because you know it'll get you views. I have become a slave to the algorithm time and time and time again, my 6 years of being an entrepreneur, and it is not fun. It takes the fun out of it. And I've learned that I do better consistently. I make more money consistently when I just create the content that I want to create, and I'm not focused on views. I'm not focused on making sure that the hook, I make the best content. I'm able to resonate with people the most when I just show up the way I always wanted to show up in the first place before I let the algorithm tell me what to do. This actually happened recently. So this YouTube channel has been around for 2 years, but I created the I Am Coach Jazz brand in 2025. And so I really wanted to make content like this, like, building your confidence, business talk, things that I've learned on my business, not really coming off as an expert, but just really talking about things that I've experienced, that I've learned from. But I noticed that, and I'm not surprised, I did make a video on toxicity and, how to navigate toxic relationships, toxic dynamics. And of course, with the help of AI, ChatGPT, we came up with a really good title for the video. Like, I'll allow ChatGPT to give me talking points or like different type of video ideas, but I really just prefer these type of videos where I sit in front of the camera and just talk. I don't edit nothing out. I just like to flow, right? And so ChatGPT gave me the idea to talk about it because it knows things that I've experienced. And so I made the video, and then we titled it, and I can't remember what it said, but this was a few weeks ago. And that video did really well for this channel, okay? No, it did not get 50,000 views. It got, I think, 1,100 views, which is a lot for this channel and where this channel is right now. And so when I saw that, I got so excited. I'm like, oh shit, because I already kind of stopped looking at views because I've just accepted that the way I want to take this channel just takes time. I just have to let time take time, and I'm not going to obsess, right? But when I saw that that video got 1,100 views, and I rewatched it, because at that point I couldn't even remember what I was talking about, right? Because I batch record my content, and I rewatched it. I'm like, okay, so I got to make more toxic videos. And so I was trying to keep it going, but I don't really like talking about toxic stuff. Like, yes, I have experienced what it feels like to have jealous friends. Yes, I have experienced what it feels like to be in toxic relationships. Yes, I have experienced what it feels like to have toxic family members. Yes, I've experienced what it's like to have people envy you. Yes, I've experienced what it's like when people compare themselves to you and then treat you differently. Yes, 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 I have. But that's not really something that I always want to talk about, because I'm no longer in that space. Like, the space I'm in now is more or less like self-improving and things that I've tried to, lose more weight or get more defined, how I stay consistent, how I'm building my business. Like, those are the things I want to talk about. I don't want to sit there and talk about someone who's jealous of you all the time, right? And I found myself doing that for a few videos, and this was recently. This was literally like 2, 3 weeks ago, and putting out that type of content because that's what performed well for this channel as of right now. And after video 3, I'm like, you know what? They're not even gonna get a video this week. I'm not even gonna make a video this week, or I'm just gonna repost the old video. It's one of the two, because I can't talk about this anymore. Like, I don't care. Like, they're jealous. Leave them alone. Like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. And so I went back to chat, and I was like, look, chat. I was like, look, chat. Look. I know this toxic boundaries video went crazy for this channel, right? I'm gonna call it viral, because shit, for me on YouTube, that's viral, okay? I don't care what anyone else thinks. For me, that's viral, right? And I'm gonna stand on it. And so I'm like, look, I know this video went viral, but I don't really want to talk about this. This isn't the direction I want this channel to go. I want this channel to be more or less like, you know, big sister type talk, friendship type talk, things that I've learned, things that I'm doing. I'm not perfect, right? I don't want it to go like that. And so it was like, well, let's, you know, I made a GPT for it and everything. So, you know, it was going through the files, and it was just like, okay, so we're just going to do this. It seems like you flow better with this. Chat gave me the confirmation I needed to just do what I want to do, right? And just allow time to take time. I'm not going to obsess over numbers. I'm not going to obsess over timelines. I am just going to show up as me as consistently as I can be. I'm going to detach myself from the outcome, and I'm going to let time take time, because when you let time take time, you always get the results that you want. And again, I've proven this before. Like, I lost 100 pounds. When I stopped doing all the fad diets and the water cleanses and the only eating fruit and let me starve myself for 2 weeks, right? When I stopped doing all of the nonsense to lose the weight so quickly, and I just decided to just show up consistently, eat less food, move my body more, not only did I get the results that I want, I've been able to sustain it. I've lost that 100 pounds like 4 years ago, right? So the same applies with business. Stop obsessing over the numbers. It's going to drive you insane. Stop looking at how much you make every day. I used to do that too, like looking at your daily amount instead of your monthly amount. Don't do that, because especially like running OnlyFans, like there would be days where I would make $50, and then there'd be other days where I made several hundred, right? So don't look at it like that. You got to go off of the month. In some businesses, I'm trying to get to that level, they go off of the quarter. Like, they don't even compare what January did versus February. I'm still in that, I'm comparing month to month. But some businesses, like the big businesses, like them corporations, they're going off of quarters. Like, they don't even want to talk about the money until we're at the end of the quarter. Like, so because it fluctuates. But if you're always obsessing over numbers every single day or every single hour, it takes the fun out of it. And then what you end up doing subconsciously is you start creating towards the algorithm. And that's what's going to burn you out, because that's not even why you started in the first place. Something else, just piggybacking off of that I came to the conclusion of was, I'm not going to focus on shorts anymore or reels, you know, and I do that for the I Am Chocolate Mini brand. I Am Chocolate Mini is full of reels, right? 4-second reels. I rarely do 10-second reels with that type of content. But for this, I'm like, I'm not even going to focus on reels, because some of the YouTubers that I watch faithfully, they don't even make shorts. They don't even make shorts. Like, if you go to their channel, like, it's all long form YouTube videos. That's it in posts, but they don't even do shorts. And it's like, you don't have to. I noticed for myself, I don't like having to sit here and make videos where I gotta make sure the first 3 seconds grab someone's short attention span, right? Like, and I gotta make sure I get to the point in 8 seconds or they're swiping. Like, I can't stand that. I cannot stand that. And I have come to the conclusion that if you can't sit through at least a minute of what I'm talking about, then we're just not aligned. We're just not aligned. We're just not aligned. And that's okay. My community will find me. My community, they like longer conversations. I like to be in depth. I like to actually reflect while I talk. I may have a talking point, but I'm recording. I'll be like, oh yeah, I did used to do this. Let me throw this in here. I like that type of content. And that's the type of content I enjoy to watch, right? So it makes sense that I would like to create that type of content. And so when I started building this brand in 2025, so like a year and some change ago, I was like, I gotta do all these shorts, especially on TikTok. Like, but it took the fun out of it. It literally took the fun out of it, because now I'm sitting here looking at my reels and I'm like, dang, like, what happened to the guaranteed 200 views? Like, one of these reels only got 5 views and they swiped off after 1 second, right? And so it just took the fun out of it. And I was obsessing over things, and it's like, maybe that's just not where I'm supposed to be. Like, or I just need a new approach to it, you know? And I'm not against trying again later, but I don't have the mental capacity for it right now. Like right now, I want to just focus on long form YouTube videos. So something that I decided to do is I'll just let the AI chop up the long form YouTube video, right? And if I post it and it hits, meaning it goes viral, whatever you want to call it, and people resonate with it, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But my community, the people that I want to make content for, they like these type of videos. They like longer discussions. They're not trying to get to the point in 5 seconds, or they're swiping off, right? And that's okay. I'm just, at this point in my journey, I'm not a short person right now, right? We'll see what 6 months brings. Maybe once I get more acclimated with this, you know, things are always changing. I have the ability to change, but as of right now, like, I just want to focus on long form YouTube videos and be okay with it. And again, that only came from stopping obsessing over numbers and remembering why I wanted to make this channel in the first place. So you can't obsess over the numbers. You cannot obsess over the numbers. That's the biggest thing I've said. I feel like I could say I've learned when it comes to business. But let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Also, YouTube wants you guys to watch this video right here. Yes, this one. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.